What's up, brewheads? Welcome to another Brewthirty, where I drink a beer and pair it with a toy. Tonight, we're going to be doing a brand new beer review, but it's an old favorite, and it's from one of my favorite breweries in the area, and that is Half Acre's Beer Hates Astronauts. You can see the cool can art here. Half Acre Beer has been doing it for a while now. I've had this beer, boy, I can't remember the first time I sampled this, 5 or 6 years ago, I think. And it is fantastic. But before we get started reviewing this awesome beer out of Chicago, what are we pairing it with? One of my favorite figures, and that is the Spaceman Zodak from the Masters of the Universe Origins line. As you can see here, he's got his cool retro-inspired pistol, one of my favorite figures of all time in He-Man, and I thought he would pair great since he's a mysterious visitor from outer space to the Masters of the Universe in Eternia. And here we are. So Beer Hates Astronauts. This is brewed by Half Acre Brewing Company in Chicago, Illinois. This comes in at 7.8% alcohol by volume. This is a 1-pint can. I believe it comes in 4 packs. Probably retails anywhere from $15 to $18 depending on where you're at. Now this is not the first iteration of this can. This is a new art actually. The original one had a little bit different can art, but I'm assuming it tastes the same. Now, I believe this is a hazy style IPA. I can't really remember, but I do know that I really liked it. Excuse me, all the times I've tried it. So let's go ahead and grab my awesome glass here. Let's pop the top. Now remember, there's no right way or wrong way to pour a beer. You pour your beer the way you want. I will pour the beer the way I want, and we will still be friends, guys. This is going to be pretty delicious, I think. You can see here. Let's take a look at the can art real quick. I don't understand the can art. I think it's got a little bit of an astronaut here, but I'm not sure what the rest of this shit is. I don't know if it's inspired by Guardians of the Galaxy. But who cares? I'm not going to dive into the meaning of any of that shit there. Anyways, so it pours a nice light amber color. It's a little bit hazy. I'm assuming it's a hazy IPA. I did not bother to look it up ahead of time. It's got a little bit of a frothy head to it. Let's give it a smell. So right off the bat, you get a lot of juice and citra aroma from this beer, which is pretty common with a lot of Half Acre's beer. They make a lot of really hop-forward, juicy style IPAs, which I kind of like those, but after a while, you can have too many and it can kind of wreck your palate and you can get kind of sick of them. I'm more of a West Coast IPA guy, if you haven't figured that out yet from my channel. And I don't mind the hazy, juicy IPAs. I just like them in low volume. So let's go ahead and give it a taste. A nice bitter hop start, a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of juice, really well balanced. It's a double, I believe. I think it's a double. No, it's just an India Pale Ale with Citra. They do make a double daisy cutter, and it's pretty heavy. But this is delicious. It's very easy drinking, not super juicy, not super hazy, which is, you know, something I like on my palate. I could probably drink maybe 2 of these and not kind of be overwhelmed by it. Yeah. The Citra is right there. Yeah, it's really smooth and really well balanced. I would say this probably comes in around 65 IBUs. Not super hoppy, but hoppy enough to where it balances out the Citra flavors. And I love this. This is a great beer. If you guys are up in the Chicagoland area or down here in central Illinois where I live, even over in Indiana, you can get a lot of Half Acre's beers. And I would definitely give Beer Hates Astronauts a try. It's one of my favorite beers from Half Acre. I always like to get it when it comes out. I believe it's seasonal. Now back to Zodak. So I believe back in 1982-ish when I first got my Masters of the Universe figures, it was He-Man was the very first figure I got, followed by Skeletor. And then the third figure I got was Zodak. I got him for my birthday that December. And he was one of the coolest figures I can remember getting back in the day. I always liked Zodak because he had a very unique look. He had the Skeletor upper body with all the hair on him sculpted in, and he had Skeletor's lower legs, and then he had He-Man's body with a brand new head sculpt. The blaster was always really cool, Zodak. He had that laser spaceman vibe, and I always like to put him on my Sky Sled. And he was definitely one of He-Man's heroic allies. But I believe when he came out, nobody knew if he was good or bad. He was kind of one of those tweener characters. But all you Masters of the Universe dorks out there who are bigger dorks than me will probably correct me and tell me how much of a dumbass I am. But guess what? I don't give a fuck. I still love drinking my beers and playing with my Masters of the Universe figures with my son, and you can't steal that from me. Guys, this has been a great review. Zodak pairs great with this Beer Hates Astronauts. Half Acre Beer kicks all forms of ass, and I hope you enjoyed the beer review. Let me know in the comments if you've had any beers from Half Acre Brewing Company. And in the meantime, guys, cheers.